Hi guys, how's it going? So today I'm going to talk about three mistakes I did when I first started reading the Bible. So the first mistake was actually starting in Genesis. So the reason why I'd say it's a mistake is purely because I didn't understand anything, as in it made no sense. And I think that was purely by coincidence because before I got saved, there were so many verses the Lord will show me to, and a lot of them were in the Old Testament. And I understood them as in the veil was lifted. However, when I became born again and I wanted to start reading the Bible, I thought, let's start with Genesis and just go through the whole book. However, I just didn't understand it, and so I prayed about it. And thankfully, God put people in my path that guided me, my leaders, friends, just to start with the New Testament because we don't live by the old laws, though the civil and the ceremonial law. We live by the new law, the moral law, and that's what the whole New Testament is about. And it shares the life of Jesus, which is so important. That's not to say that the old law isn't. It's just as important because it gives us revelations about life, how to live life, how life was before. It gives us an understanding of why XYZ may happen in life. So that's point number one. And yeah, I'd basically like to say that there's nothing wrong with reading the Old Testament first. If God calls you to read the Old Testament first, of course, go for it. Amazing. But that's something that clearly was not for me because I remember when I started reading the Old Testament, I just thought, what's going on? Why are these people? What is going on? But now that I've finished the New Testament and I'm starting with the Old Testament, I feel like the spiritual blinders are lifted and I understand why certain things were happened or in the Old Testament. Right now I'm in Leviticus, so it's a tough read, but just speaking with God, God is able to guide me and teach me about the word and what it means. These things are not just God did this and that was that, but there's so many times that God has given people a chance to turn away from the sin. And had I not read the New Testament, I wouldn't have known the characteristics or understood the characteristics of God, which is, Jesus, which is love, care, just everything. And that is throughout the Old Testament. But I wouldn't have been able to see that had I not read the New Testament, because now I can see God's hand in everything. So number two would be that I rushed through the New Testament. And the reason being that I rushed through it is because I would hear a lot of my friends, just people in general, just talk about this story in the New Testament or this story in the Old Testament. And I just think, what are they talking about? And I just wanted to know, I just wanted to understand, and all these sorts of things, which is amazing. It motivated me to finish the New Testament. But it didn't give me enough time to really sit in the word and hone in each teaching, what God was really saying in these passages. So because of this, I think I missed a lot of information. And I realize now how important it is to really just sit in the word, be present, and let God speak through and show me what I may not be understanding in the passage, because it's so much more to be revealed. And I had been praying for this new year to have Bible studies basically and have friends that want to do these Bible studies, and God has blessed me to have that. And they've encouraged me to use the SOAP method, the SOAP method, because it would help you, really just dig your claws into the Bible and just really digest what is being said. And yeah, I'm just really encouraged by it. And my mistake was obviously rushing through it all. Once I finish the Old Testament, that's something I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to start from the New Testament and just take it so easy and just really use the soap method to really just get all the juice of the Bible. Because honestly, that has changed my view of how to look at scripture and how to just, yeah, do that. Just get everything it can offer you, basically. So number 3 would be sitting in silence. So it may not sound like a Bible thing, but it really is. So it kind of hones in with point number 2, which was because I rushed it, I didn't sit in silence. And sitting in silence, I think, is so important because you really just give space for the Lord to be there in that moment and speak to you through the word what certain things may be. This is why I miss so much, because I decided not to do that, but God still came through. Doesn't mean God won't come through. I'm sure God come through for a lot of people, even if they're rushing out first, you know. But I think following around when I do start to read the Bible in that order, you know, the New Testament and in the Old Testament, because right now I'm in the Old Testament. I wanna continue and finish the Old Testament. What I do would be just really just get in a paragraph and really just zone into that, you know, trying to soak it up, but also give time for the Lord in silence, not just me speaking out the Lord, because I do that a lot. Sometimes I'm just, you know, like you do with your best friend, just this is going on, this is what has happened, this person did this to me, why is this going, just you just love to talk, or at least I do anyways. And that's not a relationship, you know, at least for me. You know, it's meant to be a two-way street, and that's something that I need to take into consideration and discipline myself to be, you know, okay, read for XY time and sit for XY time in silence, so you can actually get what God is saying to you today through that word. But yeah, that's basically been my 3 things, mistakes I kind of made, but also not mistakes because they also helped me learn. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something from it. And yeah, till next time, take care. Bye, Familia. Bye.